Hi, Fred Joel. Welcome to our Power Wednesday segment. And today, I have a question to you. What are you manufacturing in your mind? You see, my dear friends, our lives are the products of our minds. Most of the time, we produce the kind of thoughts which are predominantly in your minds into our real life. So whatever you think in your mind is reflected in your real life. To understand the products we do produce most of the time, let's go back and to look back at the little children, like 2, 3, or 5 years. Let's say you ask the little child to go inside the room. Guess what? They'll say, if the room is dark, they say, no, I cannot go in. Do you know why? It's because inside their mind, they have produced a monster or anything terrifying because of the darkness. But the moment you go inside and switch on the light, all the monsters and the terrifying stuffs have disappeared. You see, you know for sure could be a room. You know for sure that there's no monsters or anything. But because of the darkness, the kids have produced that in their mind and they believe it to be true. Some of you might be asking, so Fred, how does it apply in our real life? We are no longer kids, we are adults. Most of the time as well, we do produce our own monsters which are adult related. For the sake of time, we are not going to discuss much this day about this, but let me give you an example which might be happening in day-to-day life. Have you ever called someone 5 times, 3 times, or 4 times, and they don't pick your call? Can you imagine the situation you are going through before they came back to you? To so many people, sometimes they would think that these people, they're ignoring their calls. Maybe they don't want to pick they see the calls, but they just decided to ignore the calls. If this happens between 2 people in close relationship, do you know what will happen? It can create a feud and a fight between them. And sometimes these people, they will think about the situation, and in their mind, they'll be asking themselves questions, giving answers, fighting with those people, and planning the conversation they will go through the moment they meet the people they called before and who didn't pick their calls. Only to find out when they meet that these people, they didn't pick a call because they had a very genuine reason not to do that, and they found time later to call them back. But at that particular time, the adrenaline is too much in the body, and probably this person is sweating to the extent. You see, our minds, the direction of our minds determines the direction of our lives. At one point in time, one of the great teachers, Jesus Christ, said, "As the man thinketh, so is he." It means you are the product of your minds. So whatever you think much in your mind, whatever is predominant in your mind is going to be reflected in your real life. So instead of thinking instead of thinking negative, why don't you choose to think positive most of the time? If you're calling someone and they don't pick your call maybe 2 or 3 times, instead of thinking that they're ignoring your call, why don't you choose to think that they are busy? Probably they are going to call you back when they find time. With that, you're going to have peace and live your life comfortably. Ladies and gentlemen, to relate to that, let me give a story about 2 friends who were sitting on the table, and one friend A, asked friend B this question. He said, imagine you are in the 10th floor of the building. Unfortunately, the building catches fire. Tell me, how will you escape from the building? I know if it was you or I who start thinking about how am I going to jump from 10th floor and calculate the risk of breaking your bones if you ever reach down alive, or running through the stairs and all the things. But friend B was very smart, and he said, if you want me to imagine I'm in the 10th building and I don't have means to get out of that building if it catches fire, the only thing I'll do is stop imagination. You see, if there's anything coming in your life which is negative, you can decide to make a choice of stopping the negative imagination, negative thinking, and go to the positive thinking. However, ladies and gentlemen, this takes voluntary decision to do so. It will never happen automatically. By the way, we've been conditioned and we are used of thinking negatively whenever there's a situation than positive. So you need to take action, you need to take effort to be changing the tune of your minds every time from negative to positive, no matter the situation. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, has a paramount impact in your real life. So, my dear friends, just remember what Jesus said, as the man thinketh, so is he. So if you have good life, have good feelings and think only good things. If you want to have a miserable life like so many other people, continue thinking in a negative way, guess what? And that's what it's going to be in your life. As always, if you are here for the first time, please remember to subscribe and share the link to your friends, and also putting the bell on. If you find value in this video today, please share it to your family and friends. But as always, remember, the war is not won until the last battle. So you keep on fighting, because you are champion. Thank you.